much effort are you willing to go through in order to achieve your goals? So let me repeat that question. How much are you willing to do in order to achieve your goal? Unfortunately, I just found out that yet again, my attempts to get my challenge out there didn't succeed the way that I wanted to. But the good news is I recorded a little video to show the people how to do it. It's a shame, but it's telling for the topic, because the topic is about courage, and I'm talking about the Chicago Courage Challenge. Now, let me explain a little bit about why it's called Chicago Courage Challenge. Now, first of all, Chicago is an acronym which stands for courage, the C, H, higher level, I, inspiration, Chicago. So there's another C, communication, A, accountability, G-O. G is groundwork, as in the legwork. Hello. And then the O is for overview. Now, why Chicago? I don't know if you have been there, but I've been there twice and I have fallen in love with the city. I'm not going there when it's cold, but that's one of the reasons I love to go there in September when it's actually nice weather. So I recorded a number of videos, a number of shorts when I was in Chicago. I took tons of pictures, not just me, but Cheeky Joe as well. And we explored the city. There were things that she wanted to see and there were things that I wanted to see. And one of the things was that I wanted to see how they were actually recording, and they is Chicago PD. Now, apart from having seen the cast record, and there is Joe, I hope she can join. Apart from having seen the cast record, we, and I mean Cheeky Joe and I, we recently actually got to talk to Tommy Burke. And Tommy Burke has been behind the camera for 5 years recording Chicago PD until he got Parkinson's disease and it just he wasn't capable of doing it anymore. So there is this very cool interview on YouTube from Cheeky Joe and me and Tommy Burke if you want to watch it. Now, the Chicago Courage Challenge, it's about courage, of course. And I never thought for a million years that if I would have set up an opt-in page, and Cheeky Joe can confirm this, that it wouldn't lead to actually registering your name and your password. So what do I mean by this? It's a course. It's a free course for the next week. You can have access to it as long as I'm doing the challenge. So there are 7 modules. If you don't take the introduction and the follow-up into consideration, but Chicago has 7 letters, so 7 modules. And every day I'm going to go live and share a little bit about it. And on the other hand, I will also record a training. So those who have signed up for free, they can watch the training live or they can watch the replay. Those who haven't signed up, they can only see this part of, well, what's related to the challenge. Now, again, things didn't quite go the way they should, but that's what this challenge is about. This challenge is about what if you want to show up and get out there. What if you have a message? So I don't know if Cheeky Joe is still there. Maybe she can say something, or that it's Orlando who is still there. But for the one who's still there, I've lost my train of thought. That hasn't happened for a while. Well, my excuse is I've been in the hospital today, so they've given me an anesthetic. It was only for 10 minutes, but still. But what I wanted to say, oh yeah, I know what it was again. So here we go. it's about getting your message out there. So for Cheeky Joe, her message has to do with her passion for Jason Begay, and she wants to show the entire world what he has done. So he has done a lot of things. And well, if you can comment please here in Instagram, that's going to work a little bit better for me. So that's the one thing that she does. And I know that Jason actually knows about this page, so that's really cool. We made sure that he knew when we went there the first time around, or at least I did. So, well, and of course she also is in touch with Brian Lucci, so he knows too who she is. So, yay! Yeah, there she is. I'm here. Thank you. So I just shared that I told him who you were, because the first time around he was like, who's Joe? And now, of course, he just knows straight away who you are. But that's the difference between seeing someone in person versus just seeing a message on Instagram. So Joe is about getting her message out there about appreciation for Jason Begay, and there was an ulterior motive which has to do with how to deal with the loss of her husband. Now, when we get to my message out there, that basically, so you see what I'm called Lady Lexi Speaks Up. So I want people to learn how to speak up and speak out, share their stories, so they are heard, seen, understood, respected, valued. So basically, I want to teach people how to speak up with clarity, be understood with that same clarity. And if people don't understand them, that they know how to repeat themselves. And likewise, if they don't, hey, Emma, yeah, it's been a long time. And so if you get a response and it doesn't work for you, that you actually say, this doesn't work for me, so please do something about it. Now, we all know, or at least most of us know, but usually that starts when you are in a situation where you actually need some help, that people, they brush others off pretty quickly. They don't really listen what's needed. And usually it's because they've never been in that situation. Now, today I went to the hospital. That's how things got a little bit messed up. Apart from that, working in Kajabi and doing this really like this on a professional level is a bit of a challenge. So when I was there, I told them, and I said that to every person who was there, the nurses, the doctors, the anesthetist, what do you call that person? Anesthetist? No, there's probably a better word for it, but I don't know what it is. Anesthesiologist? No, probably not either. If you know what the word is, please write it down. But you are brave coming on here after being in hospital today. Yeah, well, the biggest problem is actually that I'm really tired. So I had to sleep longer than I wanted after coming back from the hospital, and hence I started a little bit later. And then I realized that apart from a friend that I had been talking to and going through all of this, so every step to take in order to actually access the course, that no one had gotten that far. So fortunately, there have been people who said it to me, but I've actually just recorded a video, which I'm going to send to all the people who attempted to sign up so they can actually see the course. So what's this course for? This course is for people who want to get their message out there, but they're lacking confidence, or they don't know how to do it. Maybe it's a lack of time. There can be millions of reasons to not push through. So going back to my message, what I want to get out there, So I am coaching people, and I was like, okay, I want to get a challenge out there. Now, then I have to work with Kajabi. I was like, well, how hard can it be? An opt-in page, but then they come with the upsells and the downsells, which are gone, by the way, because I don't know, I didn't save them or I threw something away, you hit delete. And apart from that, there are a lot of forms. And well, if you are not an expert yet, I'm learning to become one. I think they called Kajabi Hero. Now we know why you are going to be a hero because you are going to push on. And well, that's I've seen it, so I recorded a video so people can actually go on. So if you are someone who needs a little bit more, who needs a little bit of a push, maybe an accountability partner, then you can sign up. So that's the whole goal of the Chicago Courage Challenge. Of course, if you want it lifetime, there are other options. But for now, you can watch every day bit, which has to do with the Chicago Courage Challenge. So every day, I will tell you a little bit about the module and what it is about. So hopefully you can get to watch this and then think, okay, if Lady Lexi can do it, then I can do it too. So some of you know that I have been talking about the Chicago trip. And the Chicago trip is actually going one step further. And that's getting people to come over to Chicago. So no, I don't pay for flights or hotels or whatever it is. It's also not included in the price. But what I am going to do is, if you sign up, then I'll make sure, and I'm not talking about the Chicago Courage Challenge, but actually for the trip, is to make sure that I get to coach you for a long weekend, and we also get to visit the city of Chicago and see what's out there. And, maybe there are some other things I can arrange, but I don't know yet, so I'm not going to talk about it. But just seeing the city of Chicago, it's so magnificent. And there are so many things I can teach you just by showing you around in Chicago. And it's not about me teaching you things, but let's say, for instance, overview. If I get you all the way high up in the Sears Tower, and Chica Joe knows all about this, and this is funny, she says, I've made a video too, gonna post in the morning about the upcoming challenge for Chicago. Well, this is about the Chicago Courage Challenge, and I don't know why people think it's going to start tomorrow when it's going to start today. So, and yes, it's such a beautiful city, so much to learn about the place. It has to do with architecture, it has to do with resilience, smarts. And okay, so going back, when you're all the way high up in the Sears Tower, there's this glass box. I helped Chica Joe to overcome her fear of heights at that moment. I'm not going to say that she doesn't have it anymore, but at least she got to see Chicago from that glass box, and she never thought that she would do it. And overview, from when it comes to the Chicago city, that can be linked to overview in what it is that you want to achieve in your life, maybe in your business. So, and yes, those towers are amazingly high. So that's so true. And so there are more things which are related to one and the other. And she said, that was really scary. Thank God to you for helping me out. Yes. And that was my pleasure to do so. And it was actually kind of easy on my end because I didn't feel the emotions, but I did recognize what her main problem was when it comes to fear of heights, which is you have nothing to hold on to. When you have something to hold on to, then all of a sudden it doesn't really make much of a difference. So you want to feel things underneath your feet, underneath your hands, and then it's, the same as standing on the ground floor. Doesn't really make a difference. But that's something that you need to figure out and your brain has to start to realize that when you actually touch the ground with your feet, that, well, you can be all the way high up, but still you touch the ground with your feet. So, and when she said, when about on the street, there's always filming going on too, which is so great to see. Yeah, that's so true. So, now, getting back to what I said before, when I was in the hospital, and the reason I was in the hospital has to do with the whole traveling thing. So, if I get to travel with Cheeky Joe there again, that she won't run out of the room, try to put 1,000 pillows on her head, being covered by a million duvets, all so she cannot hear me. Unfortunately, she has chosen less comfortable options up till now, but you know, you get the idea. So I told all of them, the anesthesiologist, is that the correct word? I mean, Joe, you're English, you should know. But also all the other people, like, hey, I'm hypermobile. I want to put the brace, which is for my teeth. Well, actually, it pulls my jaw forward like that. I look like a frog when I do so. Well, so I put that one in, and they actually kept me on the bed. So that was a very smart decision. Why did I do so? Because I told them, please note, I'm going to the physical therapist 3 times a week. And right now, my shoulder is constantly clicking in and out because the tendons want to push it forward. And, well, that's not nice. So it's the tendons which actually misplace the joint in a position that actually hurts. So they did so. I also said, okay, please put something under my knees because my knees actually go like this. Cheeky Joe has seen those. And it hurts when I lie flat on my back when it goes like this. So anyway, I was there most of the day. So when I got back, I was really tired. I was going to meet up with a friend, talk about the whole challenge thing. And I think I was starting to ramble by the time I was talking to her. And I noticed that my thoughts were going, you know, it's sort of like there's reality and then there's like some fantasy thing going on. And the moment that you, of course, start talking about the fantasy thing and you respond to that one instead of what she's saying, then you know you need to sleep on. So unfortunately, that's why I started a little bit later. And then I realized, well, there's one thing that I need to do first, which is record that video, how you can actually participate in the challenge. So here we go. So if you are someone who can use a bit of a push, who can use a bit of a nudge to actually get that thing out there, no matter how hard. Now, as you may have noticed, this is not my first challenge. I have struggled with the opt-in pages for a while now. And apart from that, when I realized this wasn't working the way it was, I have been going on actually till early this morning and yesterday and the days before that too. So I have been posting about, hey, I'm going to go do the Chicago Courage Challenge. And I also posted about, let me show you what the Chicago trip is all about. So that's my way of letting you know this is what's going on behind the scenes in order for you to be able to join me if you want to. So yes, I have to be vulnerable in order to be able to do this. So I'll honestly say things didn't work the way it should. But you can see that the power of pushing through, the power of not letting go, that is the power that I've got and that I can help instill in you. Of course, there's a lot which is behind all of this, because it has to do with mindsets. And maybe Cheeky Joe can share also a little bit about going on the streets alone of Chicago. So I remember very vividly that she was in a little bit of panic when I didn't show up straight away. So I was going to do some grocery shopping. She was in the hotel room, and well, she heard some noises, but she didn't know what it was, and she was afraid that it had been gunshots. Now, maybe there were, and I didn't hear it, could be, but at some point, and Joe, I want you to share the outcome with all the people here, so they know what it is that you actually did. So I'm not going to say it yet. But for now, what happened is, after 3 or 4 weeks of hanging out with me, we actually stayed there for 4 weeks. It was so cool. Her ways had changed. Now, I do realize that it's important when you want to change certain ways and habits that you need to be exposed to it again and again and again. That's why it's so important to not only do it once, the challenge, but actually to keep going over it again and again and again. And for those who want to, there is a discount to actually buy the course. Now, here is what Cheeky Joe says. Oh my God, I was so scared, thought you was hurt or something. The bang was so loud. Now, tell them what you did at the end. And she said, I was really nervous because I was told never to walk alone in Chicago. Yeah, we know. We know what Call Me Anything was told to her. So Call Me Anything joined us the year after, and which was last year, which was actually kind of cool. And yeah, I learned a lot about places where you could go and places where you not could go. But because we were watching Chicago PD record, we also got to see how they are changing things in the neighborhood. So she said, one night I did go for a walk on my own at midnight, which I never thought I would do. There we go. So this challenge is about what is it you want to do. And yes, there she says it. I was kind of proud of myself for doing so. And you should be. You should be. Because it was a huge step. It was a huge step for you. So, well done. 2 shoulders. Tap pose. Please do so. And do so every day when you do something that you hadn't thought you would ever do. So now you know what my goal is with the Chicago Courage Challenge. And, you know, of course, it's nice to actually be in Chicago. So hence there is something called the Chicago Trip. Now, if you are going to participate in the challenge, so please register, sign up. It's ladylexi.com/cccf. So that's the free version of the Chicago Courage Challenge. Make sure that when you do it, there at some point, there is this picture with text in there. And it says on top now, click here, or it says in the text, click here. So it might be a little bit weird, but you want to click on that picture in order to actually get the form to fill out all the information. And then when you do so, then things will go to your email address. And then I will also explain to you how you actually can access the course. So actually, it's about signing up, getting your email and your name and your password. And then when you do actually have that part, then, you know, you're good to go. So I think the opt-in is in please confirm who you are. That part got left out. I'm sorry for that. Maybe I'll put a disclaimer in there in order to make this work. There is no opt-in an opt-in confirmation, but yeah, that. Hello, we are talking about Chicago and what a beautiful city it is, and how I got inspired by the city to actually do the Chicago Courage Challenge. So Chicago is an acronym in this case, and how I also want people to see the beautiful city while at the same time learning about themselves and especially the mindsets they have. So if you go back and you see what Chicky Joe wrote on here, then you know that she still probably is somewhat scared of heights, but she did go into the glass box all the way up the Sears Tower to watch the view with me. I held out not my hand, but my arm. So it was sort of like a railing. And as for all the sounds in the street and the shooting in the streets, she also realized that it doesn't always happen. And at some point, she actually went through the streets on her own. So that's cool. Now, I think I already explained a lot about the whole Chicago Courage Challenge. I am going to record a little bit more about the first module in a bit, but I'm also going to post this video on there. Now, every day I'm going to share a little bit about the challenge. So today I spoke about courage to push through, to get the challenge out there, the courage Joe experienced when she was in Chicago, and the courage that you might need in order to push through to realize your dream. So this will also be posted on YouTube. Why YouTube? Because this is way too long for Instagram. But it was just easy to go live. And I know there are a number of people who actually are watching this stuff specifically on Instagram because, well, they are Chicago fans. So go to ladylexi.com/cccf. Be sure to click on the picture. Leave your data on there. Well, I don't need your bank account number and all that stuff unless you want to purchase a whole bunch, and then I do need your credit card number. But, well, I'm pretty sure that the system doesn't show me all the numbers, so no worries about that. Kajabi is actually a pretty good system when it comes to it. And, well, then you're good to go to keep watching it at least for this week. So this week it's going to be a free version. So if you see this video and you have some questions, please let me know. Send me a DM or put it underneath this video so I can include it in the training. But like I said, the actual training with worksheets and all that stuff, you have to sign up to actually see it. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and remember, sign up. And when you do, go to ladylexi.com/cccf, then click the picture so you can actually go on. Do you want to know more about the Chicago Courage Challenge, about the behind the scenes? Then go there, click there, yes, right there.